Oi, you still here?
No, apparently I am.
I thought you were dead the last time I saw you.
Oh, nah, I'm perfectly fine. It only took 4 months for the bleeding to stop. Now thanks to you while you were off playing your Wolfenstein game or whatever.
It's Doom Eternal, damn it! Anyway, I only came back here because I forgot my wallet. Also, I'm still on furlough.
I see. Well, while we're still here, isn't there any new Sonic news-related stuff to talk about?
Don't think so. Oh yeah, we recently got some stuff announced for Sonic's 30th anniversary. Finally, some new content after dealing with this Sonic drought for so long.
Right, because apparently nobody reads the still ongoing IDW Sonic comics. Cynicism aside, I've seen the list of stuff to celebrate Sonic's 30th. Mostly standard merchandising stuff like pins, energy drinks, new Funko Pop figurines. But there are two things that intrigue me: a Sonic encyclopedia and a classic Sonic comic miniseries. So we're just going to talk about our brief thoughts on these two subjects, starting off with the classic Sonic comics.
So this is what, the third, fourth time we're getting a comic adaptation of Sonic 1? But being as this is the IDW continuity, I do wonder how they're going to handle this. Kind of like a comic version of those Sonic Mania cartoon shorts?
Yeah, the comics love adapting the first game. The first time was just that random one-shot comic that was made just to advertise the video game, which, funny enough, was what inspired Fleetway Sonic the comic. Then there was Sonic Genesis, which was Archie Sonic's version of taking a look at the classic games in the old continuity. And then, I guess Genesis of a Hero counts in that one, even though that was more of taking place right after the final boss in the first game. But yeah, now we're getting a miniseries starring classic Sonic, and I'm actually okay with this. At least they established in that universe that classic and modern Sonic are completely different characters from the beginning. Well, okay, they never mentioned the classic Sonic in the recaps of the events of Sonic Forces, but since the comics take place right after Forces, I'm still going out on a limb and sticking with that whole established from the beginning idea. Even so, I feel like this is being done just so they can bring back certain characters like Bean, Bark, and Knack, because apparently those characters are off limits to be featured in the standard IDW Sonic comics, with the exceptions of a brief mentioning for some reason. Because apparently they only exist in the classic Sonic universe. Yeah, Sega's really sticking with that retcon.
I've got no thoughts on the mandate myself, but it would be nice if they bring those characters back. Also, apart from the 2020 movie, we never really know Eggman's backstory. Who was he before he came to Green Hill Zone? How did he end up as the only human in a world of talking animal characters? Was he really Dr. Kinterber, or Humpty Dumpty turning evil after falling off a wall?
I can honestly imagine something along the lines of like Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog style. Robotnik started off as this bratty little kid who becomes evil and such because he gets no respect. Although I will be surprised if they actually decide to stick with the original origins for Robotnik from the Sega of America's Sonic Bible. When Robotnik started off as a kindly, friendly scientist, and then something goes wrong and he becomes evil. But yeah, all those other theories sound interesting. If this miniseries succeeds and becomes its own separate ongoing series, which I'm sure it will, it makes me wonder how they'll portray the characters that we mentioned, because even in their appearances in the games, they really don't have much characterization. It's only in the Archie Sonic comics where they are fleshed out more. Knack being the bounty hunter, Bean being the hyperactive bomb lover, Bark being the silent strongman, and so on and so on. So if we do end up getting these characters featured in this miniseries, it makes me wonder how they'll portray them. Will it be like their Archie Sonic counterparts, or are we going to get completely different interpretations? Either way, I just hope it doesn't end up like what happened to Genesis of a Hero and Sonic Mega Drive miniseries. Classic Sonic stories that were left unfinished during the final years of Archie Sonic. I really didn't like the Genesis of a Hero story. Well, okay, I did like part 1, showing off how the Freedom Fighters and the new continuity became a team after the events of Sonic 1. But after that, they were just straight up advertisements of the Genesis games, deliberately ending on cliffhangers, urging the readers to play the games and see how that ends. That was always a real pet peeve of mine when Archie Sonic did that. Not to mention that those were the last Archie Sonic comics that came out before its cancellation. And considering the fact that it was left unfinished, it's a very sad way to go out on. As for Sonic Mega Drive, I like that story a lot. Real shame it was left unfinished, especially since we never got to see what this Mega Drive device even looks like. In a way, I feel like Mega Drive is pretty much what Sonic Mania should have been, as in being more original with its settings, bosses, and enemies. You know, showcasing the untold past adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog with never before seen characters and adventure, rather than just heavily recycling on past content 90% of the time.
I thought those stories were okay for the most part, like retconning the Archie universe's backstory, and that the plot of Sonic 1 was about rescuing King Acorn, but I wish it was the whole story instead of just showing us the ending. But yeah, after that it just kinda stopped.
Well, retconning Archie Sonic's universe in the new continuity, not like actual game continuity, because yeah, the whole classic Sonic from another dimension thing was never really established in Archie Sonic. Even in the very last issue during their CD adaptation, they mentioned the events of Sonic Generations happening, which at this point is completely irrelevant. Yeah, it was a real shame to see that story arc being left unfinished, especially since they were just made just to advertise the Genesis games. That's pretty much why I consider issue 287 to be the proper finale to Archie Sonic, as that was the whole big finale to the Shattered World Crisis slash Sonic Unleashed adaptation. Anyway, let's move on to the next one, the Encyclopedia or Encyclospedia. Haha.
Perhaps it'll be like the Zelda Hyrule Historia and Encyclopedia books. It might be similar to that History of Sonic the Hedgehog book by Udon and Pixin Love editions, but more expansive, talking about the comics, animated serials, and maybe even the OVA and 2020 movies.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be like those kind of books, even though I haven't really read them. Well, at least this is being written by Ian Flynn, someone who actually knows and cares about the franchise, unlike Pontek and Graf. Already people are theorizing on what this book is going to be. All we know is just some kind of big book that chronologizes almost every Sonic game, but we don't know what exactly the contents are. Either it's going to be a book similar to the complete Sonic Comic Encyclopedia, where it talks about almost every character, element, location, as well as establishing a proper timeline to that universe. Or is it going to be a book that's just talking about the games, behind the scenes talk, concept art, and so on and so on? But then again, Dark Horse Comics has made a lot of those kind of the art of books, like The Art of Cuphead, The Art of Alice Madness Returns, The Crash Bandicoot Files, as well as leaving that 7-part Team Fortress 2 comic story arc unfinished. Where's the last frickin' issue, Dark Horse? Anyway, I imagine some games are going to be ignored for this book, mostly for meta reasons like Sonic 4 and Sonic 06, or most likely for legal reasons. I predict that Sonic Chronicles won't be featured because of all the legal issues behind that game. And I'm also predicting Sonic Generations is not going to be mentioned. I mean, sure, people would like it, good ratings and whatnot, but if this is going to be more of an established in-game universe timeline, then I imagine this game is going to be ignored thanks to the whole classic Sonic retcon in Sonic Forces. Sure, this book could finally come out and be the first official Sonic media to clarify that there was some kind of timeline split after Generations, but then again, despite the whole time travel aspect, Generations doesn't really have much of a story. In fact, I'm sure they can easily retcon that game as well by just replacing all of the mentionings of time travel and just replace it with, oh, traveling through dimensions. Even so, I'm sure this book is still going to highlight all the fan favorite Sonic games like Sonic 3, Sonic Adventure, Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Colors, and of course we can't forget about the greatest Sonic game of all time, Amy's American Page 1. So yeah, that's all we have to say about this episode. Bit of a short one, but don't expect any more episodes after this. It's gonna be a while until I feel comfortable doing Give Me Chaos Theories again.
Stay safe, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Cheerio!
Maybe in a few years from now, I might do some more topics, like talking about the Mecha Sally drama or the 2020 Sonic movie. Even though, in my opinion, I think that the 2020 Sonic the Hedgehog film is